Welcome everyone. This is weekly practice for the week of May 4th. This will be due on Friday, but remember you can turn it in at any point. So this is going to be a quick tutorial over this week's weekly practice, which you'll notice reviews measurement conversions that we started last week in class. Let's get started. Some of you may remember the gallon man, and this is another great way to memorize it. This isn't the gallon man, but it's another great visual that will be on your weekly practice. So for this whole thing, it's the gallon is the biggest, that's why the G is the biggest letter. And we can see that in the gallon, there is 4 quarts. That's what the Q's stand for. We can also see within the 4 quarts that 1 quart has the 2 pints that we learned about last week. And that within the pint, there is 2 cups. But you can also see how many pints are in the gallon, how many cups are in the gallon by counting all of the total, because everything inside the G totals up to a gallon. So for example, you can see that there are 8 pints. So 8 pints would equal 1 gallon. Okay, let's get started on the problem. Okay, so the first question wants you to convert 3.5 gallons into quarts. So we see that there are 4 quarts, and if I have 3.5 of them, the way I like to look at this is, okay, I have 3 of the G's. And if you think ratios, this is really easy. And each G has 4 Q's. So this has 4 Q's, this has 4 Q's, and this has 4 Q's. Well, if I only had half of a gallon, that would have to be 2. So 4 plus 4 is 8, plus another 4 is 12, plus the other 2 would be 14. Another way you could do this problem is simply by doing 3.5 times 4. 3 times 4 is the 12 that we talked about right here, and 1/2 times 4 is the 2 that we pulled right here. Okay, let's move on to the next question. So next we have 5 quarts equals blank pints. So we can see that in a quart right here, there are 2 pints. So then we could just say 5 quarts times 2 for every pint, well, would equal 10 pints. So that one was pretty easy. So the next question is 1/2 gallon is how many quarts? Well, a great way to visualize this is like if I actually cut this in half right there, how many quarts would that be? Well, there'd be 2, because there's 2 Q's inside the gallon. Okay, 6 cups equals how many pints? Well, if we look here, in 1 pint, there is 2 cups. Here's another 2. And then here's another 2, so that would be 3 pints, because this would be right here, 6 cups altogether. I hope I can't erase like that. Okay, and the last question is 10 quarts is how many gallons? Well, we can see in here that 4 quarts is 1 gallon. So if I double that, that would be 8 quarts, would have to be 2 gallons. But we're trying to get to 10 quarts. So we can kind of think about going backwards like we did earlier, and we could say, well, 2 quarts is 1/2 gallon. So 2 times 5 would give me 10. 5 times 1/2 would give me 2.5. So 2.5 gallons. Okay, and the last part for this problem is to complete the table. So they're telling you that 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, because we talked about the word kilo is a root for 1,000. So to get 1 kilo was 1,000 meters, so 2 kilo would have to be 2,000. If we have 3,000 meters, that would be 3 kilometers. If we have 4 kilometers, that's 4,000 meters. So then you would have 5 kilometers would be 5,000 meters. 6 kilometers would be 6,000 meters. And so here's the tricky one you kind of have to think about. So 3.5 kilometers. Well, we know it's got to be 3,000. And then halfway between 3,000 and 4,000 is 3,500. Another great way to look at this is just think of the ratios. This would be times 3.5 to get from 1 to 3.5. So you would multiply this by 3.5. Okay, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me or your teacher for help. Have a great day.